Welcome back to my daily breakdown of the preliminary hearing of California versus Larry Millete in the heartbreaking case of Maya Millete. This hearing was in 2023 and the trial date is March 7th, 2026. It's coming up. This is a local case for me. New episodes are dropping almost every day, so make sure you have your notification bell set up so you don't miss out. To catch up on all of the episodes, to bookmark or share the entire playlist, or to get some context if you just happened upon this video, the playlist is in order and can be found at bit.ly/mm playlist. I will spell that out for you. It's lowercase bit.ly/M hyphen capital P lowercase LAYLIST. So with that, thank you for being here again and enjoy this episode.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness to show him Court's Exhibit 5-1?
Yes.
I'm not going to project this photograph, but 5-1, do you recognize that to be a still screenshot from your body-worn camera video?
I recognize this to be a screenshot from body-worn camera footage. I do not believe this is mine because I am depicted in the photo, so it was probably from one of my partners who was walking behind me.
Okay, fair. So the male that we see in the photograph kind of standing next to the suitcases, is that you?
Yes, it is.
And you see a circle around 3 suitcases that are at the foot of the stairs?
I do.
And is that the way the inside foyer looked when you walked in that early morning of January the 10th?
That's correct.
Did you look inside those suitcases?
I did not.
After speaking with Mr. Ye, did you and or your partners conduct a welfare check at the house?
I did.
Why?
Officer Lopez and I conducted a check at the house, one to see if either May left anything behind that could potentially indicate where she had gone so that we could go attempt to find her, given that she was a missing person. Also, we were looking to see if there was any sort of signs of struggle or anything that could have indicated that foul play may have occurred or lead us to believe what may have happened or where May was. Additionally, we were looking for any sort of signs as to what may have happened that could have caused May to go missing.
And did you locate anything that you noted during that welfare check?
No.
As you looked through that, did you go to all of the bedrooms?
I specifically did not.
Did you or one of your partners walk through the house?
Yes.
Describe how thoroughly that was done.
My partner, Officer Lopez, and I checked, to my knowledge, every room within the house. Additionally, Officer Walsh assisted us by checking some of the ground floor areas and all of the vehicles that were both in the garage and parked in front of the house.
And were all of the vehicles associated with the residents of that house accounted for at the house?
Yes, I believe so.
In other words, there was no indication that a car was missing?
No, in fact, multiple of the people we spoke with told us that May had left. May's vehicle was still left at the house.
Did, when you conducted this welfare check, did someone also check the backyard?
I don't recall.
What about the garage?
Yes.
Did you note whether or not it appeared that Millette's personal items, in other words, there were large amounts of makeup or toiletries missing from the bathroom?
No, every makeup cabinet and all of the toiletries along with the clothing areas of the bedroom all appear to be full. Nothing looks like anyone grabbed any large quantities of clothing or supplies.
Same with regard to purses, the shelves. Did any of the shelves areas where purses or clothing in the closet were located. Anything appear to have, again, big sections missing that would indicate someone had packed up supplies or clothing?
No, ma'am.
Any indication that items were taken for a prolonged period of time?
No, ma'am.
Did you also speak with
I'm sorry, Counsel, can you rephrase that last question?
So these are really important testimonies. This all lines up with previous testimony by everybody who entered the home that weekend. And it lines up, and it's important to get corroborating testimony in general. But the reason that Attorney Bowles is going over this in such detail is because Larry has so far put up the defense that Maya left the home. She left him, she left her children, she left her family, and she ran away. So she isn't missing because he did anything to her. She's missing because she wants to be. And so a lot of this testimony is kind of pre-defense argument that they can shoo away, obviously, with no signs from the home that somebody left voluntarily. However, they have to contend with the fact that there's not a whole lot of evidence that anything, there's some evidence, but not as much evidence maybe as we would expect or want for a really solid prosecution that Maya was forced out of the home or was left unwillingly or had been unalived. So that's why there's multiple witnesses testifying about this, the fact that nothing appeared to be missing from her closet or supplies that somebody would naturally take if they were going to, take a trip. In fact, the luggage that was packed was left behind.
Were taken for a prolonged period of time.
For a prolonged trip or?
No, ma'am. It did not look as though any sort of supplies or items were taken that would allow somebody to be gone for a prolonged period of time.
Did you speak with Officer Walsh in preparation for testifying today?
I did.
Did you review her body-worn camera footage with her when she had some contact with the defendant that evening?
Yes.
And did Officer Walsh indicate that she asked if she could see the defendant's text messages and his last contact with his wife, Millete?
Yes, she did.
And what did she tell you about that text thread between the defendant and Millete on his cell phone?
Officer Walsh conveyed to me that Mr. Millete showed her his cell phone specifically to show that May had not reached out to him or contacted him, but the entire history of their conversation only went back a day or two.
Prior to that, so the text message thread between the defendant and his wife only started a day or two prior to so either Friday or Saturday?
Yes, it only went back 1 or 2 days from the time that Officer Walsh spoke with him.
And looking at 5-2, which is in the binder, do you recognize that?
I'm sure they're going to shore up this testimony a little bit more, but it is believed that Maya was no more as of the 7th. So if there was back and forth text between Maya's phone and Larry's phone up until the 9th, the day before this, because he said the day or two before, so that would have been the 8th and the 9th, and everything else had been wiped out off of Larry's phone. That would be interesting to be watching for that during the trial to see if there's any kind of questioning of whether those texts really were from Maya on the 8th and 9th. And also Maya's phone still hasn't been retrieved. I thought it was left back at the home. I think the reason I was confused about this is because of this testimony, but they didn't actually see Maya's phone. They were looking at Larry's. And on the other hand, it may be also that since he's testifying that that's what Detective or Officer Walsh saw, it may not be quite accurate. So we'll have to watch for that also in the next upcoming witnesses.
To be a still photo from Officer Walsh's body-worn camera.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And there's a red circle around a cell phone. Do you recognize that to be a cell phone being held by the defendant?
Yes, it is.
And did you watch that body-worn camera footage again with Officer Walsh?
Yes.
And was this the moment when the defendant was showing Officer Walsh where the text message communication between he and his wife?
That's correct.
And where you see the green messages, that would be essentially the beginning of the text message thread?
Yes, ma'am.
Which exhibit are we on?
5-2.
And so, just so I've got my notes accurately, by the time that you arrived to conduct your investigation, it is shortly after midnight on January 10th?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to be fair, does Officer Walsh, when you spoke with her, did she remember exactly when that text message thread began?
No, ma'am.
After
Boom. That's exactly what I was wondering. So again, he's giving testimony on what he was informed from Officer Walsh, who was the female officer that went to the scene, to Larry and Maya's home. And he's now saying, yes, she wasn't that specific, that there actually were texts between Maya and Larry on the 8th and 9th, which makes a little bit more sense. So she's cleaning that up.
how long did you spend at the house?
Approximately an hour to 2. I don't remember exactly how long it was.
And what was Richard Troulier also at the house?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand him to be Mark Chris's husband?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there anyone else at the house?
Yes, ma'am. There was Mari Chris and Richard Julier, Mr. Millete, and the children of May and Mr. Millete.
Where were the children?
I was led to believe they were in their bedrooms, but I never specifically spoke with them.
Do you know whether or not they were sleeping?
I was led to believe that they were sleeping, but again, I didn't get a chance to actually speak with them.
What was Mari Chris Droulier's demeanor like during your contact with her at the house?
She appeared to be nervous. Specifically, she appeared to be concerned whenever she was communicating about May or whenever any sort of questions about Mr. Millete came up.
Did you have an opportunity, if you did, to observe the defendant's demeanor?
Not enough that I could speak to it.
After leaving the house, did you conduct any follow-up phone calls?
Yes, I did.
Did you speak specifically with someone by the name of Allison Volkening?
I did.
And who was that?
Miss Volkening was a friend of May.
And did Miss Volkening have any information about May's whereabouts?
She did not.
Did she express any concern about May's whereabouts?
Yes, she did.
Explain that a little bit.
Can we get the spelling?
Volkening. I apologize, wasn't on the list.
You can answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Volkening expressed concern for May's safety, specifically because she knew May and Mr. Millete had a number of marital difficulties over the years. Specifically, she told me that Mr. Millete and May had been in a number of altercations, that she was not sure if they ever got physically violent. She specifically recounted one incident that May was so in fear for her safety that she locked herself in a bathroom, but Mr. Millete punched through the drywall that was next to the bathroom door to unlock it from the inside so that he could approach
All right.
May.
Counsel, I think there should be a proper foundation for
I-
this statement.
I think it's, based on hearsay, so I would, I'll actually agree to strike that testimony, with regard to the particular incident with the bathroom door.
Yes, that is stricken because it is inadmissible hearsay.
And I'll move on.
You know what, let's take a break.
Okay.
Take a 15-minute break. We're gonna take
Okay, so sometimes a witness will start sharing things that the attorney hadn't set up yet with foundation. In this case, I don't think that Attorney Bowles actually meant for him to share that particular account. She was talking about the conversation just about in general that Miss Volkening, Allison Volkening, Maya's friend, was talking to this officer about marital problems. And so then he just added in this incident that happened. So that was a little bridge too far. I'm not clear whether, how, or when Ms. Volkening called this officer because she wasn't at the home. If Mary Chris, I don't know how she got this officer's information. Maybe there'll be more about that after the break. But with that, I think this is a good breaking point for today's episode, a natural breaking point. They're going to take a break. And so for our next episode, we'll be coming back after this afternoon break. This is the afternoon session of day 4. We've had several witnesses on day 4. He's going to go back on the stand for a little bit more direct, some cross, and then a little bit of redirect. And then, so that'll be a couple more episodes of his testimony, Officer Culver, and then we'll get on to the very beginning of Genesis' testimony, which is JR's wife, Maya's friend and sister-in-law. And that'll be the end of day 4. It's been a lot of episodes on day 4, so it can be a little bit confusing. So hopefully you're staying with the whole thing, and the playlist, it should be in order so that if you go from top to bottom, it starts at the very beginning, including my review of the case, and then all starting day 1, the first witness testimony. So with that, we'll see you for the next episode. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching today's breakdown of the Larry Maya Millete preliminary hearing here in San Diego. I always prefer to use Maya's name and not the defendant's. In any case, this is California versus Larry Millete in the heartbreaking case of Maya Millete, who is still missing. Remember, new episodes drop every day with my insights as a local to this case. Since I'm not monetized, YouTube really doesn't promote my videos a whole ton. So if you want to make sure you catch tomorrow's episode, please like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you know as soon as it's up, or you can play it later. And if you can, please share this with someone who might be interested in following this case, especially if they're local, but anywhere around the world, to be honest, because Maya is still missing, and it would help get more eyes on her case. So again, thank you for joining me. The full playlist is at bit.ly/mm playlist. And again, it's lowercase bit.ly/capital MM hyphen capital P lowercase LAY LIST. Thanks again for being here. See you later.